Live picture for you right now in Dallas as millions of Texans are without power. The message for everybody is to conserve as much as you can. Thank you for being with us this midday. I'm Kara Sewell. So multiple power companies say the 15 to 45 minute rotating outages are going to be longer, and for some they may last for days. Let's get back out to Cleo Green. She is monitoring the situation from our social media center, and let me tell you, reading these tweets and the comments that I'm seeing from people, they are not happy after that press conference that we listened in on about 30 minutes ago.
No, Kara. Honestly, not a lot of answers to many questions that people have right now. Some people without power now for more than 5-6 hours, and it's downright cold inside of their home. Encore now reporting that over 1,221,000 people are without power, and this is affecting people across North Texas. I'm talking about Arlington, Fort Worth, Wiley, Farmers Branch, Carrollton, out in McKinney, all over North Texas. This all starts with ERCOT, and there's a lot of people that are new here in North Texas and they've never heard of the word ERCOT. Okay, this stands for Electric Reliability Council of Texas. They're an agency that controls the entire electric grid here in Texas. I'm going to let you listen into a little bit of that press conference.
But this event was well beyond kind of the design parameters for a typical or even an extreme Texas winter that you would normally plan for. And so that's really the result is what we're seeing today.
Houston's mayor said that the power outages were not rolling blackouts, but you're saying that for most, if not all, the people who've lost power, these are in fact controlled rolling blackouts that are just lasting longer than initially anticipated.
All right, so here's why those outages, those rolling outages here are really lasting longer than they should. Officials on that call said that overnight that they were dealing with some generators that skipped off the grid. ERCOT has been talking about this for a few days now. They want to conserve energy on the grid because they know with these cold temps, a lot of us are pumping up the thermostat to stay warm. Well, last night, some of their generators skipped off the grid, and that's why they went into a level 3 energy emergency. And because of that, they contacted Encore and said, all right, we need to roll out these rotating outages. They're only supposed to last for 15 to 45 minutes, but because they had those issues, a lot of people still do not have power this morning, and it's been that way for 5 to 6 hours. We asked, well, when is everyone going to have power? Is that going to happen sometime soon? And there was no definite answer to that. So I know some people are frustrated, very concerned here, but this is what they're doing at this point to conserve energy on the grid and fix some of those generators that they say went out around 1:30 this morning, Kara.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like we heard from ERCOT, there is no limit to how long any one outage could last. Right. That's not the answer you want to hear, though, when you've been without power for some of people telling me 8 or 9 hours. So streets covered with snow all over North Texas today. Businesses closed, schools as well. Holiday for a lot of people, many already out for President's Day. Those that weren't closed as well. Temperatures that we have not seen in decades. So let's go over to meteorologist Greg Fields. And here's the deal. It's not just the fact, it's the wind chill, too.
Yeah, all these wind chills, it's nothing to play with if you have to be out. We're talking about not being out long at all across the area there. Now the mic is back on. There we go. 7 above is what it feels like in Weatherford. Again, that's a pretty picture, and I know a lot of the kids want to get out and play in the snow. Just really can't be out too long when we're talking about wind chills. -12 out there right now. So we've gotten several inches. We talked about those snowfall totals, upwards of 6 inches across parts of North Texas, 4 officially out at DFW. And then as we bring you back over to Dallas, 9 above right now, that wind chill -11 for you right now. So yes, it is quite cold out there. And as we look at the temperature and wind chill timeline, we're going to keep it in the lower teens here this afternoon and probably won't get above 0 with the wind chill. We're still talking about wind chills even mid to late afternoon, -2 to -3, and those temperatures for today only around 14, maybe 15 degrees, which will again set a record for the coldest high temperature as we head later into today. And then as we get on into this evening, we're still looking at those temperatures falling right back into the single digits after midnight tonight. And then dangerously cold wind chills for tomorrow morning. So we'll likely set a record low for tomorrow morning as well. As we take a look at those low temperatures overnight, we're looking at the 1 above maybe for tomorrow morning. heading out the door, McKinney, Denton, up to Gainesville and Sherman. So if you don't have to head out, we recommend you staying in because the roads are still going to be icy as well. 2, maybe 3 degrees above zero, the actual temperature as we head out for tomorrow morning, coming down to Fort Worth and Dallas, which again will be a record low, it looks like, across the area by several degrees for tomorrow morning. And then when we factor in those winds, we're looking at the 15, almost 20 degrees below zero with those wind chills. So that is why we have that wind chill warning that is in effect. Again, something we haven't seen before across North Texas. So we'll have that. And then we're going to be bracing for the next winter weather system to move in. That's going to be Tuesday night and Wednesday. So we'll be talking more about that coming up here just a little bit later.
All right, Greg, I'll take it from here. Thank you. I do want to emphasize one thing that Greg mentioned in regards to the roadways tomorrow. So, look, one of the things that I was really happy about this morning was that it wasn't a whole lot of you out on the roadways. Remember that what's out there right now, it's not gonna melt, right? It's not going anywhere. So keep that in mind as you plan your trips. Maybe you're trying to figure out whether you're heading into work tomorrow. Keep that in mind because the roads are still going to be a mess. Here's a live look over in Fort Worth. Not seeing any active problems in Fort Worth in regards to accidents. Mid-cities, Grand Prairie, Arlington looking good. In Dallas, we did have a few problem spots. I-30 at Loop 12, I-20 at Mountain Creek. Those are just 2 of the areas that TxDOT has been receiving calls about at last check. I heard they were sending sand trucks out there, so hopefully those areas are taken care of as of now. Here's a live look over at the High 5. This is in Dallas County over in the Richardson area. One thing I have noticed is cars have basically been making a single file line if they do have to be out. So if you see that there's an area of the highway that has been cleared, of course you want to make sure that that's the area that you're using. I have seen some people try to get around vehicles, maybe go a little faster. That's not the way to do it today, folks. So take it easy out there. If you do have to head out, make sure you use that single file line. DART, a reminder, has suspended all rail operations. They did that at 9 o'clock last night. That's going to continue until 11:59 Wednesday evening. So please, if you typically take public transportation and your place of business is still open, you're an essential worker, you want to make sure you plan for this. Their buses are still operating, but they are operating on that Saturday schedule. So go to dart.org to get more information about that. And then again, just a reminder, North Tarrant Express did close down all of the lanes that they operate in and around DFW. Saxy also sent us this update from the police department saying they have sporadic traffic light outages. But honestly, you should probably expect that across the Metroplex with these rolling outages that we've been seeing pretty much all morning. Kara, over to you.
All right, thanks for the update, Tashara. So we do have crews out and about who've been checking the conditions since early this morning. Chris Sadeghi is one of those. He is bringing us an update. You know, Chris, you were out there at about 3 o'clock this morning. You told me what's changed.
Yeah, Kara, as we've gone on this morning, we have noticed as we've been on the highways, as more cars start to get out on the road, I think Tashara mentioned they're starting to kind of beat that path, so it does kind of clear a lane, which makes it a little safer to drive, although I still don't think you want to go too terribly fast. We've seen mostly people taking it slow, although we have seen some who probably could stand to slow it down a little bit, but the bridges and overpasses obviously still icy, want to take it slow on those. But really not a whole lot of drivers on the road to speak of this morning, whether that's because it's the holiday or because they heeded the warnings and stayed home, or maybe a combination of both. Not a whole lot of drivers. That's good news. We warned people to stay home if they could. Another thing we kind of noticed as we were driving this morning, and we have some video to show you the point, we're talking about these outages. You really get a sense when you are driving on the highway of how it's kind of spotty, how it is placed out across the city. We will drive a bit, we'll see these street lights on, we'll see these stop lights on, the buildings are all lit, and then we'll hit a patch where it was completely dark. The intersection lights were off, you had to turn it into a 4-way stop. You really can't tell anymore now that the sun has come up, but that was kind of showing us how these rolling outages, or these outages, have kind of been placed kind of periodically throughout the city, the area, how they were kind of rolling them back when they were. Now we find out that these outages will last a lot longer than the initially 15 to 45 minutes that we thought they would this morning. So now that we know a little bit more about the outages, you can prepare yourself, hopefully prepare your vehicle, do what you can to stay warm and stay safe. Kara, back to you.